What's up guys, Chris here, coming at you from Whistler, BC at the COMOR store, and today we're talking Nitro boards with Andreas.
Hey guys, what's going on?
So Nitro, they got the Quiver series, they got a lot of good pro riders, and they got a wide selection of boards to look at.
Lots of shapes, lots of contours, lots of pro riders.
Lots of things to get you excited. So the first board that we have is the Beast, and this is Marcus Cleveland's pro model.
Yeah man, this thing is definitely a beast. It's designed to be your more powerful, more aggressive, firmer, more rigid park destroyer. So this is for the guy who's tackling big jumps, hitting big features, and it's also a great board for grinding and for rails because it has the rail killer edge, which means that the edge of the snowboard is a lot deeper than your average rail. It's actually twice as big as most normal edges on a regular snowboard, and therefore it's extremely durable. It also has a reinforced section underneath your binding inserts. It's called ballistic impact panels, and those ballistic impact panels are designed for greater durability when landing jumps so that you don't get any cracking on either side of your binding. True camber, so more aggressive, more precise, definitely for the person who knows what they're doing, definitely for that person who's the aggressive rider.
And it's twin.
And it's twin. So next up, we've got the Squash, built for turning and burning.
Yeah, this has definitely been one of their more popular boards over the last couple of years. It was originally in their Quiver series, so a bit of an experimental board that, due to its popularity, entered their mainstream models. This is a directional freeride board with a taper. You see it's got a huge rocket out nose on it. It's got a shorter semi-swallowtail. So it's designed for carbon, it's designed for powder. Weak spot on this one is definitely in the park.
Not as great in the park because you can ride it switch, but it's going to feel a little bit wonky in switch.
And they toned down the colors a little bit this year, no more orange. And next up in our list is the Nitro Team.
It's a classic. Regular, pure, traditional camber, underfoot. It's a directional twin, sintered base, very similar to something like a Burton Custom in the sense that it's been around for a long time and they've really honed in the dimensions of the shape of this board so that it's going to provide you with that classic snowboarding feel. Fantastic for groomed runs, but also really good for taking into the park and getting some jumps.
So it's got camber under the feet.
Yeah.
And
no rocker, tip, and tail. Just pure camber.
What? I know. That's weird. They chose not to put that in there?
Yeah, no, I mean, some people just really prefer the tried and true classic shape of camber. Rocker tips and tails can sometimes lead to a washier sort of experience. This is going to give you the most power, the most aggressive turns, the most traditional style of riding. So definitely a little bit hookier feeling, but you get more out of the board. It's definitely going to be better for the person who's on piste, for the person who's in the park. You can take it into the side country, but it doesn't have as much taper or back-seatedness as some of their other boards in the line. All right, guys, next we've got the Nitro Mountain. This is a collab this season with Griffin, and it's designed to be their directional, tapered, all-mountain category board.
Yeah, it looks like a pretty good all-mountain cruiser. You got camber up profile, so it's going to be camber under the feet with a rocker tip and tail. Big nose on this guy, so it's going to help with the float. And on the tail, you have a slightly notched out swallowtail, not quite there, but going to help sit down in the powder, but also give you a good pop and good landings if you guys are hitting any jumps, drops, taking it into the park, that type of stuff. A little bit looser, won't be quite as aggressive as a full camber, and a little bit more playful in that type of snow.
Yeah, gives you some good flotation when you're in the deeper stuff. Pretty sick little UFO alien graphic on the back as well.
And then next up is the Nitro Santoku.
Santoku. So this is their all-mountain ATV vehicle. The board that's going to handle a little bit of everything and be a quiver killer. It's a twin, but it's got a longer tip and tail, so that you get that flotation that you really want when you're in deeper snow. I'm pretty sure that this is the model that's replacing the Uber Spoon, and the Uber Spoon was great at hitting powder but still being a twin board, so that if you're in the backcountry and you're landing in switch, you have all of that surface area and symmetry to land both forwards and backwards, so it doesn't feel any different than a regular snowboard. This is the guy that comes from a freestyle background, the guy that maybe has spent a lot of time in the park and he wants a board that can still handle all of the tricks that he's learned, but now he wants to take it all mountain, he wants to go into the backcountry, he wants to go into some deeper stuff. It will still be able to handle all of the freestyle elements of your training and snowboarding, but you can take it everywhere.
Now we're going to be moving into the Nitro Quiver series, and the Quiver series is a lot like the Burton family tree, so it's their experimental boards, maybe kind of weirder shapes, more niche ideas, right? And the first board we have here is the Nitro Fusion.
So the Fusion is a classic shape that's existed for a long time. The story behind this thing is that Brian Fox saw the original Nitro Fusion hanging on the wall at Nitro headquarters, and he saw it and he was like, I want to take that shape and that design and rebuild it with modern day technology. It's lightweight, easy to use, and also durable. You still have enough tail for landing a jump and for loading an ollie, but it's stunted, and then you definitely get that bigger front shovel for flotation and for riding through choppy terrain so that you're not going to feel it's as bouncy. It's going to hold up well at speed and just be a great all-mountain quiver killer. Does a little bit of everything. Alright guys, next up in the Nitro Quiver series, it's the Banker.
Yeah, this board is made for banking, doing bank slalom, doing fast carves, holding speed, charging. It's an 8 out of 10 for the flex. It's got camber throughout the board, so it's going to be a little bit hookier, a little bit less forgiving, but if you like that camber board, if you like charging, if you like power, this board is for you.
It's going to give back.
Oh yeah, and it's got a centered base. It's nice and pink for going extra fast. So yeah, bank slalom, power, charging,
hard carving,
banker.
Bank-er.
Okay. And then moving over to one of our more free ride oriented quivers, this is the Fin Twin.
Yeah guys, so this is your full-blown powder board. It just snowed 50 centimeters. You're trying to figure out what's going to be the board that you're going to take out. It's going to be this sucker here. It's designed to be super tapered, so you got a ton of extra width in the front shovel versus the tail. You can see that it's a real pintail tail, which makes the board always sink in its nose, or sorry, it makes the board
oh, you don't want that.
It makes the board always sink in its tail and always plane out of the snow in the shovel. Very turny, very surfy, great for arcing around, really quick little agile turns, especially if you're someone like myself who likes to dip and duck and dive through trees. This is going to be able to do that really well.
Just 3 of the D's.
Duck, dip, dodge, dive.
And duck.
And dodge. If you've got one board that handles everything, and then you're looking for that secondary board that's perfect for a powder day, this is what I would recommend on that 50 centimeter day. Alright guys, and this is definitely probably the most eye-opening of the bunch. The Nitro Canon, also known as Big Pink.
This thing is a 203 centimeter board. So this board is definitely one of a kind in the whole of snowboarding. The only other board that might come close to this is the Jones Lone Wolf. If you just look, this nose is about the same size as a junior board, and the tail is pretty close to your back binding, not too far away. Swallowtail on this thing is ginormous, and so that is going to give you so much sit down in the powder. You aren't going to have to change your body position at all. You're just going to be floating right through no matter what the mountain's throwing at you. Your edge that's in contact with the snow when you're riding this board is absolutely huge, so it's going to be really good riding around, carving.
Big, open, wide powder fields.
Yeah, you're not going to be taking this thing through the trees.
This is going to be great for those days on 7th Heaven, riding those big, open back bowls. huge powder day, lots of whip around in the tail.
And good for getting attention on the mountain if that's your type of thing.
Yeah, there's not like a specific rockered zone, but you would argue that there's so much front shovel that it acts like a rockered shovel because there's so much surface area there.
Oh yeah, there's a fair amount of flex coming through that nose as well, so that's going to help. Although it is a 7, but because it's such a big board, then that 7 really kind of goes down to like a 5 in a normal board.
Yeah, you can still flex this thing considerably.
Definitely has a really cool purpose if you have the terrain to ride it. And I wouldn't expect this sells a huge amount in the year, but the people that do get it really like what it offers.
We're going to be demoing it here at COMOR.
Booyah! And then on to our last board in the Quiver series. This is the Nitro Slash.
The Slash is designed to be an awesome all-mountain, but more powder-specific oriented snowboard. Super lightweight, making it extremely nimble when you're in the deeper snow. Great for taking around through tight areas like trees, because its lightweight nature makes it extremely easy to pivot.
What makes it so lightweight?
It's balsa wood core, and balsa wood is strong but also nice and lightweight. The front shovel is giving you a ton of flotation, and then the tail, there's still enough there so that you can land a jump, that you can load an ollie, and you still got a lot of rebound. Underfoot, it's a camber, but it does have that little bit of rocker tip and tail so that it's easy to initiate a turn, and it also always wants to plane out of the snow, giving you better flotation.
Yeah, you can definitely feel it's like 30%, 40% lighter than a normal board.
Yeah, I've ridden a Slash before. Super nimble, great for powder, works really well in the deeper snow, but you can also just rail a turn when you're in regular groomers.
Check it out.
Check it out, the Slash! Last but not least, we've brought in a few of the women's boards from Nitro. To start us off, we've got the Drop. What do you think, Chris?
Kind of intermediate, advanced, tapered, directional snowboard. It's got the cam out profile, so camber between the feet with a rocker on the nose and tail. This one is like a mid-flex, is rated 6 out of 10, so kind of right in the middle area. And this is going to be good for the lady that wants to go and explore and do a bit of more all-mountain type of riding without necessarily spending too much time in the park.
Yeah, getting out there, exploring the trees, the bumps, the deeper snow.
The facets of the mountain not normally seen.
Very similar to the mountain.
Yeah, like a lady's version of the mountain.
Yeah, so similar in overall shaping and build. A little bit narrower for a lady, a little bit softer for a woman's weight.
Alright, the last snowboard we'll be looking at today is the All Mountain Fate.
Yeah, the Nitro Fate is very similar to the Nitro Team. It's sort of the women's version of that board with a few subtle differences. So this guy here is using a camber out or cam out profile, which means that they've given it a little bit of a rocker in the tip and the tail for flotation, for turning initiation, but then the dominant profile of the board is still camber underfoot for stability, for lots of pop and rebound. This guy is a twin directional, so it's definitely going to still ride awesome in switch, and it's good for the person who's looking for an all-rounder kind of category board. I think that my favorite part about it is the wicked looking top sheet.
How's the flex in there?
Good mid-flex board, you know, when you have something that's in that mid-range like this, it'll hold up at speed for stability, but it will still offer you a lot of forgiveness and a lot of pliability for loading an ollie. So a good all-rounder.
Okay, that is the boards.
That's the Nitro boards. That's it. That's all. I hope that you're feeling fast.
I'm feeling enlightened.
I'm feeling nitrost.
What's your favorite one here?
My favorite of the Nitro series. Wow. I think that if I were going to pick one for my personal use, I'd pick the Squash. You know, it definitely fits my riding style. Directional, powder oriented, but will still be more than versatile when I'm riding it on a camber, or sorry, when I'm riding on a groomered section of the hill. You know, that cambered zone still gives me all the carvability that I want. And then I really like that notched out mini swallowtail. Definitely helps to kick up some snow and not have to lean back as hard when I'm in powder. But this one here is also such a hard one not to talk about, because I think if Nitro were to come to me and be like, hey man, we're gonna give you a free board, I'd probably just be like, the Canon! It's so cool, it's so unique, it's such a one-off. People are gonna look at you when you ride this thing and be like, dude, what the heck is going on with that? And so I think that's the most fun part about this board, is just like the reactions that people are gonna have to your crazy, ridiculously long board.
All right, bingo, jingo, jango. Good looking at the Nitro. Thanks for Andreas for enlightening me, and hopefully you guys on the Nitro series and the Quiver series. Huge selection of boards. It's
yeah, man,
overwhelming.
And quite a variety of pro riders as well.
Yeah, Eero, Brian Fox, Austin Smith,
Marcus Cleveland, Sven Thorgan.
Yeah.
The names go on and on.
Yeah, so yeah, make sure if you guys haven't checked out Andreas' YouTube channel already, there will be a link somewhere up here very soon. And thanks again to COMOR Whistler for letting us use their digs. If you guys are in Whistler looking for a new snowboard, or you want to talk shop, make sure you come down here and see Andreas or one of his homies.
Just come by and say hello.
Word. They will. You will. You will. You should. Cool. Well, thanks again for watching. Make sure you guys check out some of the other series. Check out the last Jones video that we put up if you haven't done already. And we will see you guys soon.